Okay, so hello and welcome to this webinar about energetic allergy healing and how you can become a practitioner. So what I wanted to do, probably first of all, is for those of you who don't know me, is kind of introduce myself a little bit. I think many of you do know me, but I saw quite a few names of people that I recognize, seen around on Facebook and stuff, seen on my email list, but don't really know yet. So here I am. I'm Kim, and I'm a spiritual healer and teacher, becoming teacher, which is really exciting. Kind of a role I've always kind of played anyway, but never really stepped into, in a bigger forum. So this is very exciting for me. My favorite topics to support people with for healing are health, obviously, with the energetic allergy healing. It's got a very definite health focus. My other favorite topic is relationships, so some people know me for that. Although there really isn't any subject that's off limits in the healing work that I do. In fact, since we're all here to talk about energetic allergy healing, I end up doing healing work on, every subject with people, as allergies really come from negative programming and from trauma. And it can come from any area of life. So, and it does create allergies. So, on a personal level, I'm a mother of 3. I have 2 that are older, in their early 20s, and I have a 3-year-old son. And what I want to say about that is, geez, I wish I knew how to do what I do now for my girls when they were little. This allergy healing tool has been huge, and it's been really interesting to watch the difference, not having that tool when my girls were little and having it with my 3-year-old son, because one of the things that allergy healing does, like setting aside like inflammation, like getting rid of inflammation in the body, setting aside those allergic reactions and food intolerances and so on and so forth. One of the things that's been really become really clear with this work is that this work really opens up your gifts. You become more intuitive. Your gifts are amplified. And I see this in my son. And this is one of the things I hear from clients all the time. So that's a really cool sort of side benefit. But watching my son has just been amazing. Like at 2.5, he just reads. It's like he just stepped into a future timeline where he just knows how to read. There was no sounding out words. There was no, he just looks at whole sentences. He reads like he's punctuating everything. Like it's just wild. So, and the other thing that he does that's just, I'm still really learning about this and really watching him. I have so much curiosity about his gifts and what's in store for him. Because he also can tell me what people are doing at home when we're not home. So he can see into, hello, what's that word I'm looking for? And he can see these things without being present. So like driving home, this was a few months ago, but driving home, he told me that my boyfriend Jesse was standing at the counter on his laptop. And he told me that my adopted son Ethan was sleeping. And I came home, and sure enough, Ethan was asleep, and there was Jesse standing at the computer. And those kind of events are not isolated. It's happening more and more. We had a package delivered. No one knew what was in it, and he told us that inside it was tennis shoes and that they were Converse, and that is exactly what they were. They were sent for my son by a friend. So anyhow, it's been really, really wild. And I know that this is true, that that this modality actually, it cleans you up so thoroughly, removing all these blocks, energetic blocks and beliefs and traumas and contracts that we have running, that's one of the awesome side effects or benefits. So how are allergies created? First of all, the first way that I learned how to talk about this was that allergies are created by emotional overwhelm that we don't have the ability to process, and from traumas. Okay, so, I like to use the example of, you're a child and you're sitting at the table and you're eating a meal And maybe your parents are arguing and you can't emotionally process this experience, and you will become allergic to what you're putting in your mouth. Okay, so that's how we can become allergic to foods. So whatever that is, your brain can be going, oh, okay, this is my enemy. This is the threat, because it transfers that way. So, and in fact, the brain takes that even a step further and looks at it as in what's in this food. So it won't necessarily be, like if you're eating an orange, it's not necessarily the orange you're allergic to, but it'll be like, first of all, it starts with an allergy to the vitamin C or the bioflavonoids that's in the orange, because that's how the brain recognizes the world around it, with the elements and things that it uses to build the body, the cells of your body. So it all starts there. And that's how I'm used to talking about it. However, let's take that deeper. What happens when we speak about trauma? Actually, let's talk about trauma for another second. So that's just like an emotional overwhelm. That could be a traumatic experience for a child, especially if it's a really escalated or really emotionally intense fight that he's witnessing. But what happens to us all as we're growing, we experience different traumatic events. We lose a loved one to death, sometimes traumatic type of deaths, or, we lose them really quickly. We go through divorce. We go through really serious illnesses that cause us a lot of trauma. We can't work. It brings in, struggle just to survive, all kinds of different traumas that we experience, sexual abuse of other kinds. So what happens when we are reacting to trauma? Well, allergies, inflammation. Long after the trauma has occurred, when we are out of harmony in our relationship to our traumatic experience that we had in the past, we will continue to have allergies and inflammation reacting to old trauma. Now, this is really important to understand. And I'm going to talk about a couple of words here. I'm going to talk about the words resistance and harmony. So when we have resistance, emotional resistance, spiritual resistance, we are literally building this in our bodies. We're creating blocks. We're building walls. Our defenses are up. We're creating inflammation in our bodies. We are creating allergies in our bodies. Resistance equals separation equals disharmony. So when we release resistance, we release separation, we become whole again. We become connected again, or we reconnect with ourselves, with others, with all of life, and with God. So the opposite of resistance and separation is connectedness, harmony, peace, and balance, right? So when we are in harmony, with anything, we can take anything as an example. With grain, like with gluten, right? That's kind of a big buzz thing. Or with pollens, or with bees, insects that people have fear around or large allergic reactions to. When we are in harmony with our environment, we are no longer in resistance. When we're in resistance, we're denying our own divinity. Like literally, we're denying our own divinity, the divinity that is us, that is you, that is me, that's in all things, including the bee, the grain, the pollen, right? Resistance is the absence of harmony. So that's like a deeper look at the work that I'm doing with this allergy healing work. So allergy healing releases the resistance and it restores the harmony. So that's this work on a deeper level. And it does this by pulling or deleting those negative programs, those traumas that are behind the resistance, and then restores the harmony. So my work is all about creating harmony. A lot of people's work out there is about avoidance. Avoidance is more resistance. Avoid this food, avoid this, avoid that. Danger, danger, it's a threat. Resistance, resistance. More and more allergies. So my work is not about creating more resistance, it's about creating that harmony. We really want to get to a place where we are in harmony with everything. Like that's the goal. So now I'm talking a lot. And let's just see, do you guys have any questions? Anything popping out? I just wanted to check the chat box. Okay, looks like we're doing good. So I'm gonna keep going. So what is energetic allergy healing? You know, this is kind of funny because when I received these downloads that became this modality, it was about 3 years ago. And to be honest, I didn't even fully understand what it was beyond the fact that it removed allergies, that it calmed down inflammation in the body, and that people got well, you know, that it strengthened the immune system. I knew that. I knew it brought a lot of relief and healing. But what I didn't know was that the allergy healing script that I use, that was given to me by a creator that 3 years ago, was really an attunement or a sacred energy activation. I didn't know. Those weren't buzzwords back then. Like, I had no idea. So now we're all pretty familiar with the language around activations. For those of you who are not, I'll just do a little brief cover of that, but explanation. But activations or attunements, they're sacred energies that attune you to and or activate your cells, your DNA, your energy fields to match a specific energy. They awaken these qualities and they raise your vibration at the same time. At the same time, they are clearing out the negative programming, patterns, emotions, and trauma that's in the way. Sometimes thousands of beliefs for activation are actually being cleared. And this clears across all lifetimes, all timelines, realities, dimensions. It clears them from all different levels. Clears it from our DNA, clears it from collective consciousness. Okay, clears it from our core lifetime, this life experience we're having right here, right now, in this present moment. And allergies are connected to or created from spiritual trauma, like we talked about, which creates resistance, like we were talking about. And energetic allergy healing are activations for each allergen that we clear or heal as an allergy. And I clear many allergens at a time. And if you haven't heard me or experienced an allergy healing from me, and you're here in this class, or you're watching this replay, you'll hear me say, Creator, heal these allergies, Creator, change it. And that's when the energy begins to run through your cells, through your DNA, through all the different levels that you carry them on, all those lifetimes that we talked about, that collective consciousness that we talked about. That energy begins to run and clear all that garbage that's attached to each allergen. So all that negative programming that creates all that resistance is pulled and deleted. And then we're brought back into harmony. That harmony is restored with the allergen that we're doing the allergy healing on. And it takes anywhere from like 12 to 48 hours to process and integrate. Everybody's different. It just depends on the person, how much they have there attached to that allergen, where they're at with their frequencies, how strong or how weak their immune system is. So there's some variance there, but usually it's somewhere between that 12 and 48 hour mark. And the allergy is healed, like literally. So if you read my, little promotion post or whatever about, how can you be allergic to something, reacting to something 1 minute, and here I'm talking 12 to 48 hours later, not be. Like, this is how it works. They're just Creator heal these allergies, name the allergies, run the energy, cleans all that up, and however long it takes you to process, then you're done. And I watch this happen over and over and over again for myself, my family members, my clients. It's pretty miraculous. That's why we call it miracle healing, because people can't hardly believe it. So what else was I going to say about that? Okay, so there is some exceptions to that rule. And it isn't that healing takes that 12 to 48 hours. That's not the exception. What can happen though is that when some people who have really severe allergies, like if we're saying like a scale of a 1 to 10, and a 1 is a mild sensitivity and a 10 is like huge reactive state. When when we have those really large allergies, that means that we have a lot more negative garbage that's attached to that, that's creating that allergy. And just like with all belief work and everything else, we store this stuff in layers, and we can't heal it all at one time. So most allergies do heal within that first window, with that first healing, but there's always some that take longer, that take listening to and receiving the healing a few more times. So that's why I provide recordings for all the healings that I do in my programs and working with clients, so that they have that tool. They don't need me. They just have that, and they can listen to that, and the healing is transferred, and they get that healing again. Just sitting in their home and pressing, play, downloading it and pressing play. I do this work for clients all over the world. This healing takes place on that quantum energy level, that space where we're all energetically connected. So this means it works without being physically present. And that's a huge bonus. So you don't have that kind of limitation. And that's actually like one of my very favorite things, because, that's going to allow this work to really, reach people that I haven't ever reached. So, and then we get to teach it this way too. The class I'm going to be teaching it online. And there's people signed up that live in all different areas of the world. So I love that. Okay. Oh, we've had a few more people join us live here too. So hello to everybody. If I haven't said hi yet. Hi, Krista. Hi, Moni. Awesome. So, and if you've missed anything, really it's just been some introductory and explanatory stuff about energetic allergy healing. Haven't missed a whole lot yet. Well, let's see. Where was I? So the other thing I mentioned that we talk about is medications. This has really been interesting to watch how this works with clients, because I didn't know, like when I started doing this allergy healing work, like I had no idea what was going to happen for people who are on medications for various different things. I wasn't told, oh, people aren't going to need their medications anymore, or they'll need less of them, or, I had no idea. But this has been what has happened, and it's been like literally astounding to me. It's one thing to eliminate allergies to pollens and dust and, your cat, and not need that, asthma inhaler or antihistamines anymore. Like that I could wrap my mind around really well. But I had people who didn't need their thyroid medications anymore, high blood pressure medications anymore, acid reflux medications anymore, people that have been on them for, decades. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And then the latest experience I had with that, I want to share this story because it was really profound. A client who's been through my allergy healing program, I didn't even know this about her, but she actually had her thyroid removed. She had no thyroid. She had cancer of the thyroid in her 20s and had to have it removed. So she's on, thyroid medication, right? That makes sense. And so after the allergy healing program, it's a couple months down the road, and she messages me and she says, my heart is racing. And I don't know what's going on. Let's do a session. And can you tell me what you pick up? What's going on here? And I'm going to mute a couple of you here, just because I'm hearing some background noise. So just put stuff in the chat box. If you have any questions along the way, I will come back to them. So anyway, okay, so I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit. So she messaged me, but then she also went to the doctor before her and I actually had our session. And the doctor told her that her thyroid medication that she was on was all of a sudden way too high, way too much more than her body needed. And it was causing her to have these other like heart racing symptoms and anxiety and some of the stuff she was experiencing. And they backed her way down. And, she has this check like every 6 months. She has to, it's really important for her. And they backed her down. I'd have to ask her again, but I think by about 65%. So she's taking just a fraction of the thyroid medication and functioning really well on a fraction of that thyroid medication without a thyroid. So that was a whole new experience for me that brought in a new level of awareness about what's really happening in the body. She's absorbing minerals and nutrients that she couldn't before. Because when you're allergic to your nutrients, you can't absorb them. You can be taking the best supplements in the world and still be deficient. Still not having your glands and your organs getting fed what they need to function properly. Plus, if you're allergic to those vitamins and minerals and nutrients, it can be proteins and fats and salts, all those different things that our body uses to create itself. You also will have inflammation going on in the body when you take those vitamins if you're allergic to them. So it's like a kind of a twofold problem. So the inflammation goes down your body. Oh, and also we're allergic to parts of our own body. So she was allergic to her thyroid. Even with the thyroid missing, she was still allergic to even like the cellular memories of the thyroid there, because your body remembers. You have energetic signatures. So we had to clear that as well. So clearing up all those allergies to parts of her own body, all those vitamins and minerals, and anything else that was affecting her. She had allergies to radiation, molds, more. She had a lot of allergies and a lot of food intolerances. So I thought that was super cool. I really wanted to share that today. But I get this reported all the time where people just don't need their medications anymore, or they need much less. So I talked about that. And let's see what else. Any questions for me so far? Does that bring anything up that you want to know more about? No, pretty quiet. Okay. Okay, good. Well, then we will dive into some more stuff. So all that said, now it's time to teach. And I've known that I'm going to be teaching this modality. I've known, oh my gosh, for probably 2 years now. But it's taken me a while to get it together and be in a space where I'm ready and feel ready to do that. So it's finally time to teach, to get this work out to really literally to the masses who are ready to accept it. So let's talk about the energetic allergy healing class and how you can become a practitioner of this modality. One of the things we're going to do in the class, I'm just going to kind of cover over what some of them are. But one of the things we're going to do is I'm going to be sharing all my allergy healing kits with all the clients or all the students who come into class. So what that means is you get your own allergy kits. So you're like, allergy kits? What? Okay, allergy kits. They look like this. Okay. Lots of words. Okay. So what you're looking at right here, this is my organs kit. And this, all those words, that's all organs and a breakdown of the main function or the main parts of that organ. So let's see if we can do, I liked skin is kind of an interesting one because skin has a lot in it. Skin's our largest organ, right? The largest organ that we use our body uses to detox also. When people have skin issues, whether it's rashes, eczema, seborrheic type, dermatitis or psoriasis, they're always allergic to their skin. They've got other things going on too, but that's one of them. And skin, just to give you an idea of what's in these kits and how thorough and detailed they are. So skin has, it's got your layers of skin. So your epidermis, the dermis, the hypodermis, but it's also got the other things that are found in that layer of skin, like your hair follicles, your sweat glands, adipose tissue, which is your fat, those fat cells in that skin. This connective tissue, your sebaceous oil glands are in the skin. So also what I include in the skin kit is sweat itself, sebaceous oil itself. Dead skin cells are important. When people have issues with flaky skin, they're almost always allergic to dead skin cells. Scar tissue is in here, fascia is in here, hair is in here, since it comes out of that hair follicle, just to be thorough. And that might sound funny that we can be allergic to all these things, but we can and we are. And people just don't know it. But when, so I use these kits to really tune into people's symptoms, just to understand why we need these kits. I have thousands of allergens in my kits that I will be passing on to all of my students in the class so that they can also really effectively do this work. So what I do is people come to me and they say, I have irritable bowel syndrome, or I have joint pain, or I get migraines. It can be literally anything. I've had people come up with the strangest symptoms, and I just tune in to that person's energy, and then I just start asking questions. I make sure I'm really connected to Creator first. I'm a Theta healer is my background. It's one of my main favorite tools in my toolbox is Theta Healing. And so, Vianna Stibble, who created that modality, she teaches you how to get to the seventh plane, or that theta brainwave state, and we do all of our healing work from that space. So I make sure I'm connected to that theta brainwave state, and then connect to that person's energy, and then I ask, what allergies are causing this symptom? And then I just use my kits to direct me and guide me, which I'll be teaching people also how to do that. I've got some general questions that I use to detect. I call this the detective mode. Giving you the tools that you need and the understanding that you need of how to use these kits will also be taught in class, so you can use them easily and effectively. But I find that some of these smallest of things are causing the biggest symptoms for people. It's really, really wild. So in my allergy healing class, we will be covering the kits. You'll be getting the kits and learning how to use them. You will also be getting my allergy healing script. That's those magic words that energetically eliminate allergies. Okay, those activations that I was downloaded with. That literally is this work. It's a script that's about 2 pages long. And so when I say Creator heal these allergies, Creator change it, that whole script starts running. Okay, so it includes everything that's in the script. That's called a macro. That's where you take just a few words and it represents a whole lot of words. That really speeds up the healing work that we do. So I'm also going to be teaching people how to make these macros in class so that you can really utilize that, as it really comes in handy with this work. The other thing that we're going to be doing, I'll be teaching you how to be that detective, like I mentioned, asking the right questions to discover the allergies that are causing specific symptoms in your body or your client's body. Okay, we're now also going to be giving attunements. I'm going to be doing an attunement to attune all my students to the energies of energetic allergy healing to make it easier for you. It's a transfer of knowledge. Okay, and so that's going to really assist you in, and it feeling kind of like second nature to you, so you'll pick it up easily. I'm also going to be teaching how to use and do muscle testing. If it's something you don't know how to do, it's really not that hard to pick up. It just takes some practice, and it takes a little bit of training of the brain about what you're doing. But I do muscle testing with my fingers. It's called digital testing, and it looks about like this. And I'm going to be teaching you how to do that in the class. And in fact, I'm going to be running an attunement for muscle testing. I was downloaded with that and said to share that in class, and that is going to really help people pick that up quicker. So we'll be doing that as well. It's going to be pretty awesome. What else we're going to be doing is you will be also receiving some healing work yourself during the class to assist you as a healer, okay, to assist you with this work beyond those couple of attunements that I just mentioned. And then, of course, you will receive a certification so that you can practice energetic allergy healing for yourself, for your family, your friends, and with your clients. So I feel like there's even more in there too, but those are the highlights. Those are the highlights. So does anybody have any questions for me about that or anything that I'm talking about so far? Any questions about the class? Or maybe you're just here because you're interested in this work, just having this work done for yourself. And if that's the case, I run an energetic allergy healing program every other month. And so the next one will start November 29th. I think it's the last Wednesday of this month. And that's really powerful. And that's where you go through 10 weeks and you have allergies healed from left to right. We go through literally all of my kits in 10 weeks. And the results are really phenomenal. Plus, I do a lot of belief work each week. I have like over 200 feeling downloads I do in that program. And we also do heart math in that program now. So it's actually now the Allergy Healing program plus heart math. And my partner, Jessie, teaches heart math, which is also an amazing thing and a super good partner to this work. So, so let's see. If that's you, that program might be for you. If you're not actually interested in the teaching. I do have a couple of prerequisites when it comes to teaching. And I guess that's really important to talk about here. I'm not teaching you how to be a healer. I'm not teaching you, this isn't a class to teach you how to pull beliefs or delete beliefs and to install or download new positive beliefs or feelings. So that's something that you're gonna already have to have in your toolbox. So this is like an additional, like an add-on class for healers who really want to improve their health or have a health focus in business. And this would be perfect for you. So the two modalities that I know that do that are Theta Healing, right? And it's pretty easy to get into a Theta Healing class these days. I mean, you can go to their website and find a practitioner near you pretty easily. I'm also a certified instructor for that, but that's not been my focus. That's not where I spend my time. And then also Alicia Hartzell's Sacred Soul Alignment modality is amazing. It gives you so many healing tools, and being able to pull beliefs and, you know, emotions and traumas, that's all part of what she teaches as well. And then she teaches more too. She teaches you how to run activations and how to receive your own activations and then be able to use those on yourself and clients as well. Really awesome modality. The other cool thing I will mention is that she's also offering people a $400 discount in her modality if you are signed up to take my class. So that's kind of a perk there too. This class is my first run. This is my first time teaching this class. And so I'm offering at a beta price of $777. And so that's a really good price. And I do have payment plans available if that's something that you need. We're going to begin on November 10th. We're going to have on November 10th, it's a Friday. So, and we're going to meet just for a couple of hours on that Friday and do just sort of an introduction call in which I'm going to be running some attunements for you. We'll run that energetic allergy healing attunement that I mentioned, tuning you into these energies for yourself to help you pick it up really easily. And I'm going to be running that activation I mentioned also about muscle testing too, so that when I teach it over the weekend, you'll pick it up easier. The other really cool thing that we're going to be doing is Alicia Hartzell is going to join us on that Friday to give you the breath of peace attunement. So in the allergy healing work that I do, and I say, Creator, heal these allergies, Creator, change it, and I take a breath, and that energy starts running, that healing energy. That is the healing with the breath is something that Alicia and I both learned in a class that we took from a friend of ours called Instant Miracle. That's what brought that in. And now she has an alignment that she's created or been given called the breath of peace. And this attunement allows you to begin using your simple breath to process or transfer healing. And this will come as a spontaneous breath when doing clearing work. And you may notice that when you begin to think about an issue for yourself or your clients, that this breath will just come. And healing is happening just through awareness. This will add a lot of power to your work, any work that you do, and other healing work that you do, making it clear faster. And again, it can be used in conjunction with any form of healing. So she's going to be coming in and giving you that too on that Friday. And then all the rest of the material, and we're going to be practicing. We're going to be doing a whole lot of learning over the weekend. So Friday night for 2 hours. Saturday, we're going to be meeting from 10 a.m. Pacific time to about 6. I don't really know, since this is a beta class, maybe we'll finish sooner. And then Sunday, same time. And then after that, you will be handing out some certificates. So it's going to be pretty cool. Oh, and I'm going to follow it up with a Q&A 2 weeks later. Okay, for any of you that are sort of struggling with it or have some questions after you've gotten out there and really practicing it with people, because I really want to make sure you're equipped to, to use it, but to use it properly, for yourself and your clients too. I want to make sure you got it. So that's the class. I'm trying to see what else I've got here to talk about. Let me see if you guys have any questions going on here, but I don't think so. Okay, well, good deal. So, where's my phone vibrating? Okay, so the next thing that we'll do, oh yeah, okay, I need to tell you this. So what I'm offering is that when you watch, here live, it looks like a lot of you are going to be watching the replay. So I'll extend this, maybe for 48 hours. I was going to say today, but maybe for 48 hours. If you sign up, I'm offering a special gift for all of you at this webinar. The special gift is an extra group call, a group healing call, where I will run 7 powerful activations that were given to me to really advance the work that I do. And I'll be giving these to you in a group call, along with some extra kind of belief work and feeling downloads to support the topics of the activations. Okay, and just so that you kind of know what that's about, so you can be excited about it, and to know if you want it, to know if it resonates with you. The activations that I'm going to do are one called Shadow Fragments. This activation is a really, really, really powerful activation. And what I was like, shadow fragments, and I was given this activation. I was actually woke up in the night and given this activation, which is the only experience I've had that was that dramatic. And what I was told is that shadow fragments are like past karmic echoes that come with us into each lifetime. That they are echoes of lifetimes full of anger, resentment, regret, fear, remorse, guilt, shame. And they cause an inner battle, like this, a war in each of us between like literally between the light and the dark. They inhibit or interrupt the flow of love in our bodies. And this battle is behind like addictions, allergies, struggles with yeast and bacterial and viral patterns, even fungus and parasites. So this activation pulls those shadow fragments, those echoes from our core lives, the DNA, our ancestry from all lifetimes, all of those levels and places, clears out those negative emotional states along with them, and assists you in stopping that inner war, bringing more peace, more love and balance into your life and into your body. Also will assist in getting a handle on yeast and fungal, bacterial, parasite type patterns in our bodies too. A really great sort of side thing to the allergy healing, because the allergy healing does that really well also. So that's how it really supports the work that I do. But I'm going to do 7 of these different activations. The next one I'm going to do in this bonus call is breaking free from viral and bacterial patterns. Okay, taking that even further. This one deletes belief systems that you carry around guilt and unworthiness. This activation pulls these beliefs from you and the viruses and bacteria that are stored in the cells and the tissues of your body, which is really essential to be able to fully release those bacteria and viruses. It also pulls contracts, oaths, vows, and obligations to take on the bacteria and viruses of others. And this was really cool because I actually included or put into this activation an allergy healing for bacteria and viruses, for the cells, for body tissues, and our energy centers, so all of our chakras, and then for the emotions of unworthiness and guilt. So there's actually an allergy healing built into this activation. So it's really powerful. And the next one we're going to do on that call is called Resolving Inflammation. Inflammation is what we get when we have allergies. Inflammation is what's going on, and inflammation is where all other chronic pain, disease, and illness and dysfunction comes from. So, so this one I was given to also assist this work, resolving inflammation. And this one removes and deletes programs that our environment is a threat. Okay, there's that resistance piece again. It's a threat, it's our enemy, we resist, both our internal and external environment. Okay, anywhere that our internal, external environment's a threat, including our relationships and our own emotions and feelings. And again, there's an allergy healing built into this one for inflammation itself, for the immune system, for the emotions, irritation, anger, resentment, regret, hatred. It's really important to clear emotions as allergies. Like it shifts you completely around these negative emotions. So literally when we are allergic to an emotion, every time we feel that emotion, we literally have inflammation happening in our body, somewhere in our body. Okay, and so this shifts you out of that and it helps you handle those energies better and different. Then we're going to be doing one called My Body as a Fine-Tuned Instrument. Like, okay, what I saw when I was given this activation, I was shown the inside of a clock and how every part is working together in perfect harmony, functioning perfectly as it keeps time, so to speak, right? Like the saying, like clockwork, right? So we just expect it to work. We expect it to keep perfect time. And then I was shown an instrument. You know, instruments sound so harmonious, you know, putting out frequencies through sound that heal. And so what I was hearing is that this activation clears programming that's in our bodies, that we don't work right, that our bodies don't work right, that they break down, that we can't count on them, that they're faulty, and so on and so forth. And that it brings in really beautiful communication between all parts, you know, between our cells, our glands, organs, our hormones, our brain, our heart, sort of all dancing together, communicating harmoniously, bringing in that harmony and that balance, and that we can count on our body and the communication of all parts of our bodies to literally make beautiful music. I have a few more I'll just mention. It looks like I might have something in the chat box. Oh, okay. So Emily's actually asking, she's saying that weekend doesn't work for her, but will I be offering it another time? I will run this program again, or this teaching class again. This is my beta program. It will not be at this price, however. I don't know what the price is going to be yet, but I do know that this is the lower price point for my first class. What I can say about that, Emily, is I do have people who can't make it live already, and they wanted the class so badly that they asked me, you know, if there's any way that we could make this work. And I thought about this, and I thought about this, and I tuned in and had a chat with Creator about this. And what I heard was, that's where I put in that follow-up Q&A class, actually, because that wasn't part of my original plan. So I do have several people who can't make it live that weekend. If you could make it live that Friday evening for just those, or afternoon, just for those couple of hours, that would be really cool, just for those attunements. And we're going to be signing like the contract, you know, we'll do some cool stuff and get some of the not as fun stuff out of the way that night as well, or that afternoon. So that one would be good to be there live. But however, what I'm doing is just sending out the replays of the class, and then we'll have that follow-up Q&A to make sure you really get what's going on, and to make sure, you know, you've got it. If you have any questions, if you're having any hiccups in there, then we can work through those together in that Q&A. Yes, and yes, Emily's asking if we would get certified if you're not live. The answer to that is also yes. So really this comes from practice, like really getting good at, like you need the education pieces, you need to learn, you know, kind of the ins and outs of the kits and stuff like that. That's all going to be in the class, which I think is going to be really okay to pick up in the replay. And again, we'll have that Q&A to make sure that you really do have it. And then the biggest piece after that really is going to be practicing it, you guys. And we will do some practice live in class together. But that's why I'm also giving people 2 weeks before we do that Q&A. So you have some time to watch your replays and start practicing. Practice on family members, practice on friends, you know, whoever feels comfortable for you to get some practice in on. And I am going to have some hours requirement before I actually do give out that certification. Everyone will get it, absolutely. But the practice is the biggest piece. So I haven't really just tuned in and asked for what's that perfect amount of time for practice, but maybe what first comes into my mind is maybe like 20 hours of practice. So we'll talk about that in the class too, but everyone will get their certificates, whether they're live or not. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, I was talking about the activations for the bonus. This is such a good bonus, you guys. Okay, so then it's really important. I have a lot of other activations too that are geared around health, but for this bonus call, I wanted to kind of do half around health, and then I wanted to do some around helping you, assisting you as healers in general, communicating with your clients, communicating, really getting connected and into your own heart is really, really, really important as a healer. So the next 4 actually focus on the heart. And this next one is called Communicating with the Heart. And this one clears communication blocks from the heart chakra, your throat chakra, the third eye and crown, and really plugs you into the gift or the ability to communicate with more ease, with more love and more joy. So this is going to be really important if you're planning on using this modality with clients. So it'll really help you there. And this next one is similar. The next one's called Seeing to the Heart. And this one really tunes you into the ability to see your own heart with clarity, but also to see another's heart with clarity. So this work as healers, we need to really be in touch with our own heart, but we also are tuning into other people's energy. So it'd be really, really helpful for us to have that communication between hearts be really clear. This will also help you in your relationships outside of work, but a really good one also for you with clients as a practitioner. So it clears blocks to you having your own heart seen as well. So that's really good too if you're going to be visible as a healer. And then the next one's called Warrior Heart. And this one ignites your passion, really connects you to fiercely loving, to being fiercely loved. Now, again, this one kind of came in more on a relationship note. Doing a relationship class is when I was given this download, but I was hearing to include it in this bonus for everyone who signs up, because it also will ignite your passion and allow you to plug into the courage and the bravery that's required to fully feel and acknowledge the love that you feel for another and act on it. So, and I was told this is perfect for healers with their clients, okay, with their work, with their business. And then the last one I'm going to do, this one is actually the one that my boyfriend Jesse and Alicia Hartzell came up with, and it's really, really good and so important, and it's called Heart-Brain Activation. Okay, and this activation activates 40,000 neurons that are in the heart that think independently of the brain. Rather than thoughts, they think in positive emotional states, such as complete knowing, like highest levels of intuition. You can see why this one would be really good for sharing with healers. Self-confidence, positive self-image, compassion, gratitude, and the self and other love. So there's no negative talk or no negative self-image when you're in your heart. Okay, that's all brain stuff. All possibility exists when you're in this space with access to the same level of knowledge as creator and your higher self. It's all about the heart. So these activations are really geared to get those 40,000 neurons firing in that heart, really connect you to your heart, allow you to connect to others' hearts, to really be seen, and to really light up your passion. So those are the ones I'm doing. And then I'm going to do some belief work and some feeling downloads just to go along with it. It's going to be pretty awesome. That'll probably be about an hour to an hour and a half call. I don't have it scheduled yet, but that is the bonus that you'll get if you sign up in the next 48 hours. Yay! Okay. So I think that's all I really have to talk about today. You guys know when the class is. You know that there's prerequisites and what they are. Hopefully I've shared enough with you about this work for you to really feel into if this is a good fit for you, if it's something that you find really interesting or would like, you think it would be a great add-on or a standalone even for healing work. Some people like to have it, some people are signed up for this class who don't have a thought of using it with clients. They just know how much it's done for themselves in their own lives, and they just want to have it as a tool. So there's really no wrong way or wrong motivation, right? So you guys need an allergy healing. That's what you need. Okay. I told you guys you were going to get an allergy healing so you can experience it for yourself. So it's always so hard for me to say, like, what singular sort of group of allergy, and we can clear more than one allergy at a time. Thank God, because people have way more allergies than they are aware of. So thank goodness that we can actually clear quite a few of these at a time, because we have hundreds of allergies, you guys. We just don't know it. When you're tired in your body, you lack energy, you have allergies. You probably have a lot of allergies if that's a chronic problem for you. Like I said, headaches to rashes to, getting sick constantly. I haven't found any physical symptom in the body that cannot be addressed and greatly improved or healed altogether with this work. So how do I choose just a few, what we can do today as a group? So I just asked, what should I do for this class today, for this webinar? And I heard to focus on molds, yeast, fungus. Whenever I do yeast and even fungus, I really like to also do sugars, because sugar is a problem for people, and sugar feeds yeast. So if you're one of those people that deals with yeast imbalances, overgrowth, yeast infections, some people have them even really bad where they're systemic and then they're hard to get control of. This allergy healing work will really help that. And adding sugar into this will really help that too. So we're going to do sugars. Here, let me look at my document here, so I can tell you exactly what we're going to do for the allergy healing. Okay. So the focus is going to be, like I said, yeast, fungus. I include mycotoxins, molds, and sugars. What I want to do to assist you in making this even, as large as we can in one healing, is I'm going to add in some emotions, and I'm going to add in some parts of the body. These are key, important factors for people. And the first thing you're going to hear me say when I do the allergy healing, you're actually going to hear me say brain-body function. Doesn't really sound like an allergy. What that actually does in the allergy healing, though, is clears communication pathways between the brain and the body. When we have an allergy, it's also confusion. The communication is not happening properly. So that helps open that communication pathway up. So when I haven't worked on a client before, and some of you are going to receive an allergy healing for your first time here, so I want to make sure that's clear for you. So I'm going to do brain-body function. When I say emotions, what I'm going to focus on today are people, because we are allergic to people. And I have found some of the biggest symptoms that people are experiencing, some of the biggest pain and illness in the body has a priority allergy of being allergic to people. So I'm going to give you some of that today, because definitely, so fungus, mold, yeast, those all resonate the frequencies of resentment and anger. Okay, resentment's the really big one, especially for yeast. And where do we pick up our resentment? We pick it up in our relationships, develops at young ages. So people really trigger us. And when we get really triggered by things, that's a setup to become allergic to it really easily. So yes, you become allergic to people. So you're going to hear me say, your mom, because that's your mom, your dad, our parents, right? It starts there. So I want to make sure you're not allergic to them. So we'll do mom, dad. We're going to do the self, because oftentimes we're allergic to our own self. If you think about autoimmune issues and stuff, right? The body's attacking itself. That's really important. For those of you that have children, as much as we love them, we can be allergic to them. So I'm going to include children. I'll include siblings. And I also think it's important to include spouses. exes, ex-boyfriends, ex-spouses. So those are some of the major players in the allergy world there. So you'll hear me say that. And then I'm going to clear people in general, because a lot of healers are allergic to people in general. This can come from having, oaths, vows, and contracts to have to heal other people. Comes in with that obligatory frequency or feeling. And that's actually burdensome and puts it into the negative. Puts a good thing, what's really supposed to be a good thing, but it puts a negative spin on it in our own bodies. So it just removes that. And then some parts of the body. We're going to do stomach, because we want your digestion working for you. So we're going to do stomach. You'll hear me say stomach acid and base. So base is all the alkaline digestive juices in your whole gastrointestinal tract. Okay, so we want that all working for you. So stomach acid, base. You'll hear me say large intestine, all large intestine tissues. That's going to grab all those little things that are in my kit. Like this is, I don't know if you can see this, but this is large intestine. This is just all parts of the large intestine. Okay, I'm going to do small intestine and all the parts of the small intestine. And I'm going to do skin, because fungus, molds, and yeast really affect people's skin commonly. And you can be allergic to your skin. So especially if you're one of those people that doesn't really feel comfortable in your own skin, doesn't really feel good in your own skin, doesn't really know how to feel at home in your own skin, probably got some skin issues going on. So this is going to clean that up. All right. So I'm going to record the allergy healing separate, because that's what I always do, because if it's hard, people don't do it. So if you have to go back and listen to this whole live stream, or find the live stream and forward, or not live stream, but webinar, or forward it all the way to the end and get to the allergy healing to repeat the healing, you may not do it. Some of the really dedicated people will, but a lot of people won't, because it's not easy. So I make a separate allergy healing recording that just holds the 2 minutes or so of the allergy healing itself. And I will send out that link with the replay to make it easy for you, because since we're not working one-on-one together, I don't know how big your allergy to these things are. But yeast, molds, fungus, mycotoxins, sugars, these are all things that people usually have a larger rather than a smaller allergy to. So what that means is you want to listen to this healing again. But give yourself like 2 days to fully integrate the process and, fully integrate the healing. And then listen to it again. And listen to it even several more times over the next week or so to make sure that you're getting that healing on all the different levels. Okay? And if you find yourself even having sugar cravings like 2 months down the road, or you feel like you noticed something big happened when we did this healing, and then you notice, some of those symptoms or feelings are back in a couple of months, run it again. It'll clean it up again. Sometimes a deeper level gets revealed, or sometimes because of emotional trauma and stress, allergies get reactivated. So these recordings are really valuable. And let's go ahead and do it. Does anybody have any questions before I do our allergy healing? No? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, let's go ahead and do this then. Okay, so again, you're going to hear me say, Creator, it is commanded. That's that Theta healer part of me. And then you'll hear me say the allergens. Creator, heal these allergies. Creator, change. I'll take a breath. That energy will transfer to you, even if you're listening to the replay. And those energies start running. They start doing their work. And it'll shift all of these allergies somewhere within that 12 to 48 hour mark. If you've never had this work done before, it's going to hit closer to that 48 hour mark. So here we go. Okay, so Creator, it is commanded an allergy healing for brain, body function, for our mothers, our fathers, okay, so our parents, for our siblings, for our children, all of our children, for our spouses, our partners, our lovers, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, And for all of our exes, ex-partners, ex-lovers, ex-boyfriends or girlfriends, ex-husbands or ex-wives. Okay, and for all people, okay, all people, the whole human race. Okay, and then for yeast, okay, for yeast, all the yeast that I have, all the different types of yeast that I have here in my kits, because we all think of Candida albicans, but there's actually quite a few more than that, and they're all here in my kit, and you'll be receiving those in this healing. So all yeast that is in your body, okay, and that is anywhere in your environment. Okay, and then all molds, all fungus, and all mycotoxins, okay, that are here in my kits. And also that are in your body, your home, the home that you live in the environment or the neighborhood that you live in, that are in the air, the water, the soil where you live, in the city that you live in, on out to the whole state that you live in, on out to the whole country that you live in. Okay, and then all sugars. Okay, all sugars. There's many different types of sugar. Even coconut sugar is in my kit, so you're getting that too. Okay, and then for stomach, and all stomach tissues, stomach acid and base. Okay, for large intestine and all large intestine tissues. Okay, and for the small intestine and all small intestine tissues. Okay, and for skin. Okay, and all skin tissues. So Creator, it is commanded to heal all of these allergies for everyone who's listening now and in all future time. Creator, heal these allergies. Creator, change it. Okay, good. Okay, and then for the sake of this recording, just remember to say yes or I accept to receive this energetic allergy healing. Okay, and also remember to drink extra water anytime we're doing healing work that's deep. It really helps us to process and integrate it easier and faster when we're hydrated. So drink lots of water. If these are pretty big allergies for you, you might feel tired. So that's just a warning. Some people don't have any, symptoms or any kind of reaction to the healing. Some people get really tired. Some people feel emotional. A lot's coming up to be released. So just know that if you have anything like that coming up, that's what's happening. That it's just cleaning all this stuff up, cleaning up these allergies and all that's attached to them. So, and that should pass within, I think I've had a client tell me it took them about 3 days to recover. I've had a few of those. Those were people whose immune systems were completely shot. So if that's you, you might feel tired for a few days. Most people, however, will feel pretty good within that first day or two. And some people, again, don't feel like anything. They don't even notice anything's happening. They don't experience anything negative. Okay, but just know that it's still working, and everybody's just different in how they receive it and how their body processes everything. Okay, so that's the separate allergy healing. Like I said, I'll send that out in an email with the replay. So look for that in an email. And that's it. That's class. That's our little webinar for today. Hopefully that was, again, informative and gave you all the information that you need to see how you feel. And if you want to be a part of this class, I'm super excited to welcome you into the class. So thanks for being here, for being a part of it. And if you have questions later, just message me or email me. You can just email back. It's all good. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll also put the pay links in the email when I send out the replay so that you guys can sign up in that 24 to 48 hours or whatever easily and grab that bonus too. And again, there's payment plans, so I'll put those links in there too. Okay, you guys, well, thank you again so much and have a really great rest of your day and happy healing. Okay, bye.